Hi, everyone. I wasn't sure how much time we were going to have in class this week because we have a variety of interruptions. We've got lots of good stuff, Spirit Week and the pep rally, and we have a 4-day week to start with. So I wanted to make sure that I talked to you about what it actually means to analyze. We're asked to analyze in a variety of contexts in academic life. So let's look at what that means for literature. First of all, notice that this is a verb. So that means that it takes work. It's not necessarily simple to analyze literature or to analyze anything else. We have to actively take part in this process. Let's look at this definition. I like this one that I found. It says to analyze is to examine methodically and in detail the constitution or structure of something, especially information, typically for purposes of explanation and interpretation. So if we kind of pick that apart, it's to examine methodically. It's to make sure that you have a method of doing this practice, and to analyze in detail, to examine it in detail, to look at its constitution, to take a look at how it's made up and how it's structured, typically for purposes of explanation and interpretation. So this example sentence that's on the screen says, we need to analyze our results more clearly. That one looks a little bit more scientific, like we're analyzing data, but also we can look at how this applies when we're reading something and we're asked to analyze it and look deeper into it. Some of the synonyms at the bottom maybe would give you a different way to look at this process. You're examining it, you're inspecting the literature, you're scrutinizing it, and the last one says to look over it. I would maybe change that one to look into it more deeply. We know that the premise of the AP Lit class is that we're analyzing the structure of literature, and then we're explaining in discussion maybe, or in writing usually, what we found. So what that looks like is how the author accomplished what she did, and interpretation looks like why she chose to do it this way. So maybe how she developed this character, how she used the setting to convey meaning. We can analyze a variety of things about the literature. Everything that we're doing in this class is analyzing, basically. Everything that I'm asking you to pay attention to is for this purpose. And so let's look also at a definition of analysis, which is the noun form of the same word. An analysis is a detailed examination of the elements of or structure of something, typically as a basis for discussion or interpretation. So on the right, you'll see each question type for the AP Lit exam is asking you to analyze, asking you to write an analysis. Question 1 is a poetry analysis. Question 2 is a prose analysis where you're given a prose passage that's shorter. Question 3 is the open prompt. That's still analysis. It's just analyzing a longer work, so a novel or a play. I'm going to ask you tomorrow to analyze a longer work when you look at what you've seen in The Awakening. And so I wanted you to be reminded of the fact that you need to dig deeply into this text, and the activities that we've been doing in class together and the ones that you've been doing independently on your own have already led you to this analysis. And so tomorrow you'll be expected to kind of put all of those ideas together as you look at what is the structure of this novel. How is it structured, and why is it structured this way in order to convey the meaning that you have found in the novel? I hope this helps as a point for discussion, some things to think about, and a little bit of guidance for your future writing.